Hi, Elke. Nice to meet you again for our cancer talk. And today we have, I think, an interesting issue about the four E's. It's a concept of Schulz von Thun. And I think it's very important because communication sometimes is going wrong between partners, between chief or children or parents, yeah. And so it's a model which will help us to come more in relaxation and help us to increase our health, yeah.
Yeah.
And let's talk about this four ear
Yeah.
models, and
Good,
perhaps you can explain us what it means.
good to be back. And, yes, and especially I thought in this situation where your nerves are kind of raw, so we may, people with the diagnosis and going through all this, they may be even a bit more sensitive to whatever is said and how it is interpreted. And also here it is good if first we have a model to understand what's happening, and then this enables us to take responsibility for what we say and what we hear and what we want to hear. Yeah. And in this context, I find this model of the E4 ears model really, really interesting. So the first ear that we want to use or we want to discern is the factual level. So I'm just saying something without emotion and just have a statement, basically. So like to have an example, we're driving in a car and I'm just saying, oh, there is a green light in the front. And there is no emotion. It doesn't come with any interpretation. It is just a fact.
Mhm. And I listen also on this ear that I just take the information. The green light. Thank you for this information. Yeah. I think this ear reminds me on Mr. Spock from Enterprise. Perhaps you know this. Yeah. And he's really on this. He always hears the facts and there's no emotion on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a robot, perhaps sometimes.
Yeah. So it's just like, two adults talking about something emotionless. Yeah.
Mhm. So, conclusion, when we listen to this factual ear, yeah, we are only on the fact side, yeah, and that brings out emotions and of the communication. Emotions are away, and we concentrate only on the facts of the situation or what happens. Yeah, when we have a cancer patient, yeah, we listen only of that what the doctor says on a factual way. It's not nothing to take personal. It's only the facts in this
Yes.
situation. Yeah, I understand.
So, but if you imagine that maybe is now your friend or your husband, then there is also a personal, like a relationship level that comes into play.
And it's a
And
second year.
it's the
Yeah.
second year,
Okay.
yes. So we always put that into consideration. Who is saying that,
Mhm.
and have some kind of um, taking it personally with a negative connotation,
Mhm.
So we
Mhm.
make something negative out of that comment that there is a traffic light in the front. Yeah.
So with the traffic
Because
light,
of that relationship level
uh-huh.
that we have with that person.
Perhaps if you would say it and I take it personally, perhaps I could. I know that the light there is green, and I will drive in my own way. You always quarrel when I drive, and then blah, 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 blah.
So,
I go on
yes,
this personal level, and I take it personally, and this is the
yes.
relationship level, yeah, of the
This is
communication.
the relationship level.
I
And you
think that.
can feel already just by listening to it, to Thomas, that, I can feel it in my stomach cringing, like, oh, I think we have all gone through this. Yeah.
Hmm.
When
And
you
that
have
makes
no,
that causes
yeah,
stress. I think this this
because that's
year causes stress. Yeah.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
And
so
then,
and it's not it's a good recommendation to say, hey, if you take everything personally, then try to change the ear, perhaps on this first ear we talked about, and just take the information out of what it's green there, nothing more.
Yes. So you own, in that moment, you own your reaction to it, you know, so you make a conscious decision. This is not an ear I want to listen to, you know, so when you feel coming something, you know, but you choose to stay on the factual level.
So you have to choose now to choose which ear you want to take to listen.
And this gives you freedom, right? Because nobody says you have to react on that level.
I'm more than a robot, just to make this only way. I understand.
Yeah. Then we have the third ear, that is the appeal ear. So we always want, then if we listen with this ear, we want to act, we want to do something to be helpful to others, we want to act upon what we hear.
So I hear when the light is green, and then I gas, I give gas on the car and be quick.
Yes. Yeah. So you react on in that way, and it comes from it. You're still not on the, you know, you have left the factual level, so it is still an interpretation that's going on in your mind, you know, even though it may not be so stressful as the first one, like the relationship level, right? But it is still something that you interpret. Yeah.
But I think we will find many cancer patients who are listening on this ear, because I met a lot of women, mostly. They said, my own wish is to help my family, and that they are good and they have everything what they need, and they forgot their own needs. And so this ear is not very helpful for your health.
It is only helpful to realize what ear you're using, and then to say, hey, wait a minute, you know, this is, I will change now. This is what I don't want anymore, you know?
So to come out of this helpful image which I give to the other people.
Exactly. So therefore in this way we can turn it around and say, no, it is not something bad. So it is something that reveals something about me, and that I can change now because I have understood it. Yeah.
So cancer can help to change your personality.
Yes. For the better or the worse, right? So we want to help you to do it for the better, you know, so that you really take this as a chance, you know, to come across a lot of automated behavior that were never reflected, and now is the time to learn how to look at these. And then we have the fourth level, the fourth ear. And this is, of course, what we do all the time. We listen with the therapist's ear, so to speak. So it's the self-revealing ear. That's when we just listen to find out how the other person is doing, you know. So we're just, we're totally focused on the other person, and we don't have anything ourselves going on about that topic. Yeah.
Okay, we don't take things personally because we listen. How is the other person? We are on the empathic way, perhaps. We feel inside the other person, and then it's okay. It's information how the other person is emotionally at the moment, situated, and I can't take things personally when I listen like a therapist.
So, and in our daily work, of course, we help then, for example, to help the patients to understand, because they bring their conversations and say, oh, there happened, they said this, I said that. So we're helping them finding out, which ear was that, to get a better feeling for the future, you know. So this is how you sharpen then the mind and your ears.
And perhaps we can give them exercises to listen for 1 week on the first ear.
Yes, exactly. Make a conscious choice, every day to hear with a specific ear. Yes, to help
Yeah,
you
well,
learn how they really work. Mhm.
so I think it can take out stress out of the communication, and it will helps your healing and your health. And I think it's a good model to take out stress out of our
Yes,
life. Yeah.
something very simple and profound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Elke, for these explanations and for the talk today. And I hope you're doing well, and perhaps you get some recommendation for your life, and you try to listen more on the first and on the fourth ear instead of this relationship and the appeal or the ear. Yeah, and so come out of stress in the communication. Bye. Have a good time. Thank you, Elke.